I would say more of the aggressive dogs.
Yeah.
You know, because they are more of a challenge for sure, but really like getting through to them and like there's just how rewarding the outcome is out of it. So my name is Jayden. I am a dog trainer. Yeah, just train dogs all day.
Train dogs.
Do sales calls and stuff.
Have you always trained dogs, or is this like your first time doing dog training?
This is my first like official time training dogs. I have been in the dog field of just like doggy daycare, having like dog training in the mix of it, but
Okay.
not really being hands-on with the dog training myself.
Okay, gotcha. So you've always kind of like been in the realm of dogs. Did you like grow up owning dogs and like you love them?
Yes, I've always like begged my parents to have dogs. We used to like have them when I was like a baby.
Yeah.
One day, like my mom, because she was going through a really tough time, and she just went on, I guess, was looking for animals. Don't know why that happened, but hey, that's how she copes. To go for it.
You're like, I'm not complaining.
And then she found, his name is Jeffrey. I named him Jeffrey.
Cute.
We found him, and then, you know, after that, I was really happy. And then for when I turned 16, I mean, I'm pretty open about this, so I am transgender. So I didn't want a sweet 16 at the time. So I was like, can I get a dog instead?
Yeah.
That was because it also was cheaper. I mean, come on. It especially was around, if you go to certain animal shelters, they you get your dog for free sometimes. So
Yeah.
we went around that time because my birthday's in November, so then it's Christmas. So my aunt got me the dog for my birthday, and I named her Hazel because she was a pitty, and that's when I fell in love with pits. Like, that's the moment I was like, I want a pit for the rest of my life. And then really from there, I just fell in love with dogs, really just having them around. And like, just, you know, Hazel was like definitely like my partner in life. She helped me through a lot. And then now I have two of my own. One's name is Princess.
Oh.
My rock.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. At first, she was actually a gift for an ex. And then since she was...
That's always a great story. Maybe for another time. I would love to hear that.
But, you know, she's in my name, so when we split, I ended up keeping her, and then when I was going through a really rocky time and, you know, growing up, she just became my foundation. Like, she was the happiest go-lucky dog you could ever meet, and she's older, and, like, she just is a ball of energy. And, like, nothing stops her. Like,
Yeah.
when first got her, she got fixed. Her insides were about to come out.
Oh, no.
Was acting like nothing was wrong. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, she's like running around, jumping on stuff, and literally like she's on these antibiotics because she's not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
She's like the happiest dog. So like she just was everything to me. And,
Yeah.
and my last job that I had before coming here, his name is Leo.
Okay.
He's 8 years old. He's a teddy bear. He ended up biting a kid.
Oh, no.
It was the kid's fault.
Okay.
Woke him up.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it. And you know how dogs are. They
Yeah.
have boundaries, and they just didn't respect it. And
Yeah.
they just didn't want to come back for him.
Yeah.
So I was in a vulnerable state. I saw him, and I was like, I'm gonna take him. And I had my own place, so I was like, okay, I can do 2 small dogs. It's no problem. My landlord had no issue with it, and
Yeah.
that's how I have 2 of my own now. And after that, I was just like, this is something I really want to stay in. It was more so leading towards animal control.
Okay.
This just happened in the mix of that because I was looking into school. It was just getting financially ready for that.
Yeah.
And plus, there's not a lot of schools on Long Island that caters to animal control. It's in the city, and I just can't make that commute right now.
Definitely.
This is just kind of happened. Elliot called me, and he was like, hey, like, are you into this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm into learning new things. And then like it just came natural after that, and I absolutely love what I do.
That is awesome. Yeah. Oh, I love that. What is something that was just kind of unexpected? Like when you first started learning about dog training, was there anything that was like kind of unexpected? You're like, oh wow, like I never would have thought about this.
Like really understanding the dogs, like how into depth it really does go. And like I didn't know that there were actually 2 different signs of tail wagging.
Yeah.
Like, one can actually mean the dog's gonna hurt you, or the other one means that they're happy.
Yeah.
So like a lot of like body, like a lot of stuff that I didn't realize goes into the dog training. Cause like, you know, people make YouTube videos and make it look so simple. And then like you can do it and you can get them to do sitting down, but then really like learning about aggressive dogs and like anxious dogs and like just the different types of dogs you can get and their body language and how much different and how much you have to tweak things, where it's just like you don't realize like how much like dogs need and how much more into depth you can read into them for sure.
Definitely, for sure. So like the dog psychology part of it. Yeah.
Like how much deeper it really does go.
Yeah. I really resonate with what you said of like, yeah, you know, you see these like YouTube videos and they make it seem like so easy, but there's so many slight nuances that go into it, especially with behavioral modification, which can be quite challenging. So with a lot of the dogs that you train, is there any type of specific like temperament of dog? Like some people really like the anxious ones or the aggressive ones, or, you know, whatever. Do you have a certain like temperament of dog that you really gravitate towards at all?
I mean, I personally I like all the temperaments, honestly, but if I were to have to gravitate towards one, I would say more of the aggressive dogs.
Yeah.
You know, because they are more of a challenge for sure, but really like getting through to them, and like there's just how rewarding the outcome is out of it, because realistically it's like you have like this angry dog that's misunderstood, and the owners, you know, for a fact don't know. Like some owners don't know what they're getting into with breeds, like especially Cane Corsos. We get those a lot, and German Shepherds, because people don't have much
They look cool,
experience.
but they don't have experience.
And that's the problem, is that they think that they're just getting a cool looking dog and don't realize like they're actually getting a dangerous breed, you know. And then, you know, from them going like, oh my God, you're my last hope, to here's your dog, you know, they're a lot more manageable. This is what you're going to do, you know, this is how you handle them, and really showing them how to understand them. So that way they can go home and they don't have to be so afraid, or it's, you know, just that way they can actually have a family dog. You know, that's really all people want, is a family dog, and being able to do that for somebody, it's really rewarding.
It super is. So being, you know, doing all of that, is there any like specific behavior that you feel like you're really good at training, or like you just really enjoy training the dogs to do?
I would say more of the shy ones.
Yeah,
because really like getting through to them, it's a beautiful thing.
definitely.
I love watching them kind of break out of their shell and like become a different dog.
Yeah.
You know, especially I had a dog named Knight who was fearful of men.
Yeah.
And, you know, even though we weren't like super close, he was able to trust me enough to pet him, to show him some affection, give him food, put stuff on him, you know, and just getting to that point with a dog, it's like a beautiful thing. So I would say more so of like the shy, anxious, aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like to teach them any specific behaviors the most? Like for me, I love to teach a nice loose leash walk. Do you have anything that you really enjoy teaching?
I like off-leashing a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Especially like when doing downstays off-leashing, and how
Yeah.
cool it is to just kind of walk away and be able to know that your dog's still there, and then recall them back to where you are without having to like go back and grab the leash and be like, you know, stim them and all that stuff. So I feel like it's like really rewarding seeing a dog go from walking on a leash to being able to like just stay next to you and walk without you having to really keep much of an eye on them.
Yeah, because it really speaks to the relationship and cooperation. The owners a lot more. What type of owners are your favorite owners? Like, do you have like any signs that when you start talking to them and then you're like, oh, okay, like these are going to be like really great clients? Like
when they are like actually asking me questions and like actually like are in tune with what I'm saying, and not just be like, okay, yeah, because like you could tell like when they're just kind of like just nodding their head and like, yeah, and not like, hey, how do you do this? Or okay, but you know, what about this? Or, you know, like really engaging with me and being like, I watched the video, but I didn't completely understand. Because I have clients who watch like not only like my training videos, I've had clients record me in my sessions because they really want to grasp what I'm saying and what I'm doing, especially with the equipment and watching it, because sometimes the videos that, you know, the ones we email that are just not quite enough for them. And there's no problem with that. I always tell them, if you have any questions, feel free to please ask me, and they do, and I love that. I love having that relationship where they can trust me to ask me questions even if they don't understand. Because I mean, yes, some questions are silly or goofy and they're like kind of embarrassed, but it's like, realistically, it's not a bad question. It will never be a bad question. It's as simple as, I don't know how to turn on the e-collar.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. That is simply okay. I'm not expecting the parents to be experts at the end of the day. That's our job, really. It's
Definitely.
them to understand how to use the tools, and so that way they can use the tools at home.
Definitely, for sure. When, like, throughout your time of training a lot of dogs and also training a lot of clients, do you feel like there's been anything that, you know, has helped you grow as a person? A lot of people don't really, you know, when it comes to dog training, they think about the dog and they think about the owner. And a lot of times the trainer's kind of left, like, kind of out of the equation, you know? But there's a lot of transformations that happen for the trainer as well. Do you feel like you've transformed at all? That's something that being in the dog training industry has helped you grow as a person?
Absolutely. I definitely have a lot more confidence. I'm a very shy person. I could definitely say that. I was not a huge fan of like communicating with the clients face to face with them. Like I was very uncomfortable at first, but then like the more I did it and the more like I sat in with Ashley, Jay, Elliot, and the more like they were teaching me, the videos I was watching, those questions we got that we answered with Ashley, all that, and like really gaining all the knowledge like I can, like, you know, I have Ashley come help me, I have Jay come help me, especially if I don't understand something, and then like, you know, they give me advice and how I could convey stuff better to clients, and then the more I, you know, really sat there and just absorbed all of that, the more confident I get on making phone calls now, being able to convey better to my clients and knowing that, okay, I'm actually like, I'm confident in what I'm saying and what I'm doing, and, you know, I can back myself up on this instead of being like, I'm unsure about what I'm saying. Am I telling them the right thing? And you know, I occasionally do still question myself, and then when I do, I can be able to be confident and ask those questions instead of being like, am I about to ask a silly question to something?
Yeah.
It's like the clients asking us questions. It's for me, it's like, am I about to ask you a silly question? But then it's like, no, this is a genuine question. Even if it's silly or not, I should just ask you just to, you know, be sure about what I'm doing and what I'm conveying to my clients.
Yeah, I like that. Do you have a favorite quote or saying that comes to mind? Maybe it's inspirational, motivational, or maybe it's just silly, but it's just something that you enjoy. Do you have something?
So I have, it's tattooed on the inside of my arm. I probably not saying it to the complete of what it says, but the gist of it is impossible is not a fact.
You can look at your tattoo.
Because impossible is not a fact.
It's an attitude. Yeah, that is very clever. So my last question for you before I let you go is, so if you could have a billboard in Times Square, New York, and hundreds, if not thousands of eyes are going to see this, or it's going to be a commercial during the Super Bowl. So you have an opportunity to put a message out into the world that thousands of people are going to see. What's this message that you would convey to people?
So I definitely would convey a message that would make everybody smile and happy. You know, really just to kind of read it to, you know, just something beautiful. To really just show everybody that, like, you know, it is okay. You know, even if you're going through a really tough time, you know, your mental health might not be the best, you don't have somebody around, just something to really uplift somebody's day.
So would you just have like a slideshow of like memes or something that are funny?
Probably.
You probably?
Memes or like really inspirational quotes.
Okay.
Like, you know, just something to really get your brain working and being like, wow, like, you know, this really changed my day a little bit. You know,
yeah.
Like, you know, if you, like, you know, it's like one of those days where you're having a really bad day and like just something, you're on your last string and you just read it and it's like, okay, wow, this is really making my brain kind of work and kind of like stray off from what kind of made my day so bad. Like when I have a bad day and I see something and it like really kind of makes my brain work, I kind of forget my like, you know, whatever made my day so bad. And I'm like, wow, this is really like, no, it really is going to be okay.
So any last parting words of wisdom, thoughts, ideas, anything that you want to say before I let you go and start training dogs? Or are you ready to get out there and start training again?
No, just at the end of the day, nothing is impossible. I mean, you know, if you really want to do something, go for it. Really, really do go for it. Because, you know, you never know. It might be your next talent. It's like me. It's always been one of those things where mom's like, oh, maybe think about dog training. And I'm like, no. And then, you know, here I am and I absolutely love it. So, you know, at the end of the day, if there's something really like, oh, I want to try this, try it. Really do try it. Because then it's going to be the best thing that you've probably ever done. Because I'm definitely a person who I've missed out on opportunities because I was way too shy, too anxious, and I let that get the best of me. And then when I really started living and getting out of my shell and pushing myself to do things, I have really enjoyed those things and I haven't regretted anything that I've really put my mind to.
I love that. I want to end on that. Thank you, Jayden, for talking today. It's been a pleasure.